In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 10 American restaurant chains with documented food safety violations and outbreak histories that should make you think twice before ordering. These aren't rumors or internet gossip. These are official reports from the CDC, Department of Justice, and state health departments. Plus, I'll reveal 3 chains that are actually committed to clean, transparent food practices. Stay until the end, because what you learn could protect your family the next time you're deciding where to eat. Let's start with what might be hiding behind those familiar restaurant logos you've trusted for years. 10. Olive Garden. Starting at number 10, Olive Garden built its reputation on unlimited breadsticks and family-friendly Italian dining, but a 2019 incident in Spanish Fork, Utah revealed serious concerns about food safety protocols. The Utah County Health Department issued a public advisory warning customers about possible hepatitis A exposure at this specific Olive Garden location. The exposure stemmed from an infected food worker who handled food during their infectious period, creating a window where customers may have been exposed to the virus. Health authorities had to specify exact dates when potential exposure occurred and outlined response steps for concerned diners. What makes this particularly troubling for regular Olive Garden customers is that hepatitis A spreads through contaminated food and water, often when infected food handlers don't follow proper hand-washing protocols. The virus can cause liver inflammation, fever, fatigue, and jaundice, with symptoms sometimes lasting months. For older adults, hepatitis A poses higher risks of severe complications and longer recovery periods. While this was a single-location incident, it raises questions about staff health monitoring and hygiene enforcement across the chain. When you're settling into that booth thinking about comfort food, the last thing you should worry about is whether the kitchen staff followed proper health protocols that day. 9. Sonic Drive-In. At number 9, Sonic Drive-In promises nostalgic car hop service and classic American drive-in fare. But a 2019 incident in Spanish Fork, Utah exposed vulnerabilities in their food safety systems. The Utah County Health Department issued a public warning about possible hepatitis A exposure at a Sonic location, again linked to an infected food worker who prepared food while contagious. The health department had to specify the exposure window and communicate public health response measures to anyone who ate there during that period. Sonic's drive-in model creates unique challenges for food safety oversight. Food handlers work in compact kitchen spaces, preparing meals for high-volume service, where shortcuts in hygiene protocols can quickly lead to contamination. For customers who've made Sonic a regular stop for quick meals, this incident highlights how invisible risks can lurk behind familiar menu items. Hepatitis A doesn't discriminate, and exposure through restaurant food can happen in minutes while the consequences last months. Older adults face particular vulnerability because their immune systems may struggle more with viral infections. The combination of fast-paced service and documented illness exposure makes Sonic a concerning choice when safer alternatives exist. 8. Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Moving to number 8, Tropical Smoothie Cafe markets fresh, healthy smoothies and food as better-for-you fast, casual dining, but a 2016 multi-state hepatitis A outbreak shattered that healthy image. The CDC's final investigation update reported that nearly all interviewed sick people had consumed smoothies at Tropical Smoothie Cafe locations before August 8, 2016, in a defined geographic area. The outbreak affected multiple states, meaning this wasn't isolated to one problem location, but represented a systemic ingredient contamination issue. The source traced back to frozen strawberries that Tropical Smoothie Cafe used in their smoothie blends. The company removed the implicated frozen strawberries from restaurants on August 8, 2016, and coordinated with related product recall actions. What's deeply concerning is that customers thought they were making healthy choices by ordering fruit smoothies, never imagining those strawberries carried hepatitis A contamination. For health-conscious adults who specifically seek out smoothie shops for nutritious options, this outbreak represents a betrayal of that trust. Frozen fruit should be safe, but international supply chains and inadequate processing created contamination that sickened people across multiple states. The hepatitis A virus is incredibly resilient, surviving freezing temperatures that would kill many other pathogens. When you're ordering what you believe is pure fruit blended for your health, you deserve confidence that basic food safety prevented viral contamination at every step. 7. Applebee's. At number 7, Applebee's neighborhood grill positioning suggests reliable, familiar dining, but Minnesota health authorities investigated E. coli O111 illnesses where multiple sick people reported eating at Applebee's locations. E. coli O111 is a dangerous pathogen that produces Shiga toxin, causing severe bloody diarrhea, abdominal cramping, and potentially life-threatening complications, including kidney failure. The investigation identified enough pattern among ill customers that authorities took action, removing a specific menu item from Minnesota restaurants during their investigation. E. coli contamination typically stems from inadequate cooking temperatures, cross-contamination between raw and ready-to-eat foods, or contaminated ingredients that weren't properly handled. For older adults, E. coli infections pose heightened risks because aging immune systems struggle to fight off bacterial invasions, and complications like hemolytic uremic syndrome become more likely and more severe. What started as a casual dinner at a familiar chain restaurant led to serious illness for multiple people who trusted Applebee's food safety. The fact that authorities had to remove menu items suggests they identified specific preparation or ingredient problems that created contamination risk. When you're choosing where to eat, these documented outbreak investigations should carry more weight than marketing about neighborhood grills and friendly service. 6. Subway. Subway built a global empire on fresh ingredients and customizable sandwiches, but a salmonella outbreak investigation in Illinois revealed serious problems with their produce handling. The Illinois Department of Public Health announced an investigation into Salmonella vitiphos infections associated with eating at Subway restaurants. Salmonella causes severe gastrointestinal illness with diarrhea, fever, and abdominal cramps that can last a week or longer, and in vulnerable populations, including older adults, the infection can spread beyond the intestines. The investigation led to Subway locations pulling and discarding produce items, including tomatoes, as part of their response actions. Fresh vegetables represent Subway's core marketing message, yet those same fresh ingredients became vehicles for bacterial contamination. For customers who chose Subway specifically because they wanted fresh vegetables instead of fried fast food, this outbreak highlights how fresh doesn't automatically mean safe. Produce contamination can occur at farms, during processing, in distribution, or through improper handling at restaurants. The fact that multiple Subway locations face the same Salmonella strain suggests a shared supply chain problem rather than isolated restaurant failures. When you're ordering that veggie sub thinking you're making a healthier choice, you deserve confidence that every tomato and lettuce leaf was handled with proper food safety protocols from farm to sandwich. 5. Jimmy John's. At number 5, Jimmy John's freaky fast service becomes deeply concerning when paired with their documented E. coli outbreak history. The CDC reported on a multi-state E. coli outbreak investigation linked to Clover sprouts served at Jimmy John's restaurants. The outbreak affected customers across multiple states who all shared the common factor of eating Jimmy John's sandwiches containing these sprouts. The CDC's communication included specific consumer-facing guidance warning people about Jimmy John's Clover sprouts during the investigation period. Sprouts are notorious in food safety circles because the warm, humid conditions required for sprouting also create perfect environments for bacterial growth. E. coli can contaminate seeds before sprouting begins, and once bacteria establish themselves, they multiply rapidly throughout the entire sprout batch. For sandwich customers who added sprouts thinking they were boosting nutrition, the reality is they were adding significant contamination risk. Jimmy John's continued using sprouts despite their known association with outbreaks, prioritizing menu variety over customer safety. Older adults face particular danger from E. coli because severe infections can trigger kidney failure, requiring dialysis or causing permanent kidney damage. The freaky fast service means nothing when the ingredients carry bacterial contamination. When a simple sandwich order can lead to a multi-state outbreak investigation, that restaurant has failed its fundamental responsibility to serve safe food. 4. Taco Bell. Moving into the top worst offenders, Taco Bell's value. Menu appeal can't overshadow their 2006 E. coli O115 RH7 outbreak that sickened customers across multiple states. The CDC reported on this multi-state outbreak linked to Taco Bell restaurants. with E. coli O157H7 being one of the most dangerous foodborne pathogens. This particular E. coli strain produces powerful Shiga toxins that destroy red blood cells and damage kidneys, leading to hemolytic uremic syndrome that can cause permanent kidney failure or death. The CDC's investigation described fresh produce ingredients as part of the outbreak vehicle assessment, examining which menu components carried contamination. Taco Bell had to implement response actions during the outbreak as customers continued falling ill after eating their food. For families who relied on Taco Bell for quick, affordable meals, this outbreak transformed familiar menu items into potential health threats. E. coli O157H7 requires only tiny amounts of bacteria to cause severe illness, meaning even minor contamination creates major risk. Older adults face exponentially higher hospitalization and death rates from this pathogen because their immune systems can't mount effective responses, and their kidneys are more vulnerable to toxin damage. The combination of widespread geographic impact and dangerous pathogen strain makes this 2006 outbreak a stark warning about Taco Bell's food safety track record. When choosing where to eat, past outbreak histories deserve serious consideration, especially when safer alternatives exist. 3. McDonald's claiming the number 3 spot. McDonald's golden arches symbolize American fast food dominance, but a 2018 multi-state cyclospora outbreak exposed serious vulnerabilities in their supply chain. The CDC investigated this outbreak where many sick people reported eating salads from McDonald's locations across multiple states. Cyclospora is a parasitic infection causing watery diarrhea, loss of appetite, weight loss, cramping, and fatigue that can persist for weeks or even months without proper treatment. The outbreak investigation led McDonald's to stop salad sales in affected areas, a dramatic response that shows how seriously authorities viewed the contamination threat. For customers who specifically ordered McDonald's salads thinking they were making healthier choices than burgers and fries, this outbreak represents a cruel irony. Fresh greens that should provide nutrition instead delivered parasitic infection, requiring medical treatment. Cyclospora typically contaminates food through water or soil contaminated with fecal matter, meaning somewhere in McDonald's vast supply chain, basic sanitation failed catastrophically. Older adults suffer more severe and prolonged cyclospora symptoms because their immune systems struggle to clear parasitic infections, and the dehydration from persistent diarrhea poses serious health risks. McDonald's serves millions daily, so when their salads carry contamination, the outbreak scale grows exponentially. The fact that this happened in 2018, not decades ago, proves that even massive corporations with extensive resources can fail at fundamental food safety. 2. Wendy's at number 2. Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef marketing couldn't prevent a 2022 multi-state E. coli O157H7 outbreak that sickened customers across the country. The CDC investigated this recent outbreak where many sick people reported eating sandwiches at Wendy's restaurants. E. coli O157H7 represents one of the deadliest foodborne pathogens, causing bloody diarrhea, severe cramping, and kidney failure in vulnerable populations. The CDC's investigation updates discussed romaine lettuce used on sandwiches as the suspected contamination vehicle and described Wendy's response actions during the outbreak. Fresh lettuce that topped burgers and sandwiches became the carrier for dangerous bacteria, sickening people who trusted Wendy's quality claims. What makes this particularly troubling is the recentness. 2022 means this happened just a few years ago, not in some distant past when food safety standards were lower. For older adults who enjoy Wendy's as an occasional treat or regular dining option, E. coli O157H7 exposure can quickly become life-threatening. The bacteria's Shiga toxins attack kidneys with particular ferocity in people over 60, often requiring hospitalization and sometimes causing permanent damage. The multi-state scope means Wendy's supply chain distributed contaminated lettuce widely, affecting restaurants across geographic regions. When a company's marketing emphasizes fresh quality, but their fresh ingredients deliver bacterial outbreaks, the disconnect between promise and reality becomes impossible to ignore. 1. Chipotle Mexican Grill. Taking the number 1 spot as the absolute worst restaurant you should avoid, Chipotle Mexican Grill faced criminal charges from the U.S. Department of Justice for food safety failures so severe they required unprecedented legal action. The Department of Justice announced a criminal resolution requiring Chipotle to pay a $25 million fine tied to food safety issues in serving adulterated food. $25 million represents one of the largest fines ever imposed on a restaurant chain for food safety violations, reflecting the severity and scope of Chipotle's failures. The DOJ's announcement described multiple foodborne illness outbreaks associated with Chipotle restaurants occurring between 2015 and 2018 as part of the factual basis for the criminal case. Multiple outbreaks over several years proves this wasn't one unfortunate incident, but a pattern of systemic food safety failures. For customers who embraced Chipotle's food with integrity marketing and believed they were eating at a more responsible, higher quality fast casual chain, these federal criminal charges reveal a devastating betrayal of trust. What makes Chipotle's failures particularly egregious is that they occurred despite the company's premium pricing and explicit promises about food quality and safety. For older adults who may have chosen Chipotle thinking the higher prices bought safer food, these outbreaks and subsequent criminal charges demolish that assumption. When federal prosecutors pursue criminal charges against a restaurant chain, it signals food safety breakdowns so serious they go beyond typical civil violations. Chipotle's fall from food integrity champion to criminally prosecuted food safety violator stands as the most dramatic restaurant safety failure in recent American history. After exposing these documented outbreaks and violations, here's the relief you've been waiting for. Not every restaurant chain has failed at food safety. Some are actually committed to transparency, clean ingredients, and practices that prioritize your health over maximum profits. These next three brands prove that fast casual dining doesn't have to mean compromising your well-being. 3. Just Salad. Starting our safer options at number 3. Just Salad earned certified B Corporation status in April 2023, according to B Lab's public registry. B Corporation certification requires meeting rigorous standards for social and environmental responsibility, verified through extensive independent assessment. Companies can't simply claim these values. They must prove them through documented practices, supply chain transparency, and ongoing accountability. For customers concerned about where their food comes from and how restaurants treat employees and the environment, B Corp certification provides third-party validation beyond marketing claims. The B Lab registry description states Just Salad uses prepped daily produce and from-scratch recipes, meaning ingredients arrive fresh and get prepared in-house rather than coming from industrial processing facilities. This daily preparation approach dramatically reduces contamination risks because ingredients spend less time in storage and handling, and kitchen staff can immediately identify quality issues. For health-conscious diners who want genuinely fresh salads without the outbreak histories plaguing other chains, Just Salad's practices offer meaningful reassurance. The from-scratch approach means simpler ingredients and fewer processing steps where contamination could occur. B Corp certification also requires transparency about sourcing, so customers can trace ingredient origins rather than wondering about mysterious supply chains. When you're choosing a restaurant for a healthy meal, knowing they've met independent verification standards for quality and responsibility provides peace of mind that marketing slogans never could. 2. Sweetgreen. At number 2, Sweetgreen states its menu is prepared fresh daily and is completely free of artificial preservatives, stabilizers, and refined sugars, according to the company's published methodology document. This isn't vague marketing language, but specific, documented commitments available for public review. Sweetgreen goes beyond typical restaurant disclosure by publishing detailed methodology documentation describing its data sources and transparency practices, providing technical disclosure that most chains would never risk making public. For customers tired of wondering what's really in their food, Sweetgreen's transparency represents a fundamentally different approach to fast casual dining. Fresh daily preparation means ingredients don't sit in storage accumulating contamination risks, and the absence of preservatives proves the company trusts actual freshness rather than chemical shelf life extension. No stabilizers means what you see is what you get. Real ingredients behaving naturally rather than synthetic compounds creating artificial textures. The refined sugar exclusion addresses a major health concern as excessive sugar consumption contributes to diabetes, heart disease, and inflammation that particularly affect older adults. Sweetgreen's published methodology provides the kind of accountability that builds genuine trust, allowing customers to verify claims rather than simply believing marketing. When a restaurant voluntarily publishes technical documentation about ingredient sourcing and preparation, they're inviting scrutiny that only companies with nothing to hide would accept. For diners seeking both nutrition and peace of mind, Sweetgreen's combination of fresh preparation, clean ingredients, and radical transparency sets a standard other chains should follow but rarely do. 1. Panera Bread. Taking the top spot as the safest restaurant you can visit, Panera Bread publishes a no-no list stating that its U.S. menu and grocery products do not contain listed artificial preservatives, sweeteners, flavors, and colors from artificial sources. Panera's Food Beliefs page links its clean foods definition directly to the no-no list and provides comprehensive ingredient and allergen transparency resources available to anyone who wants to research what they're eating. The no-no list eliminates ingredients that appear throughout the fast casual industry, artificial preservatives that extend shelf life at the expense of food quality, synthetic sweeteners with emerging health concerns, artificial flavors that mask inferior ingredients, and artificial colors serving only cosmetic purposes. For older adults particularly concerned about cumulative chemical exposure and artificial additive effects, Panera's Clean Food Commitment addresses those concerns directly. What makes Panera's approach most powerful is the public accountability. By publishing specific lists and linking food beliefs to verifiable practices, they've created a standard they must maintain or face immediate credibility loss. When you're choosing where to eat, Panera's documented commitment to clean ingredients, published transparency resources, and no-no list provide the reassurance that your meal won't contain the artificial additives and questionable practices plaguing so many other chains. There you have it, 10 restaurant chains with documented outbreaks, criminal charges, and food safety failures that should make you reconsider your dining choices, plus 3 that actually deliver on transparency and clean food commitments. Before your next restaurant decision, remember this: past outbreaks predict future risks, and chains with documented transparency deserve your trust more than those with documented violations. Choose wisely, and your body will thank you for years to come.